year as the head coach at John Curtis Christian School. He's amassed the second most wins in American prep football history, and he's led the Patriots to a record 26 state championships. He serves as the co-host of Friday Night Football on NOLA 38 and ABC 26 with Ed Daniels at 11 p.m. on Friday nights. And in 2015, he was inducted into the National High School Football Hall of Fame. Undefeated at 3-0, the Patriots will battle Brother Martin in a Catholic League showdown Friday night at 7 p.m. in the first ever game played at Zephyr Field. We'll talk about that, and so will another speaker coming up shortly. National television audience as well, but a great chance to experience something new, and that should be very nice. Please give me a warm Greater New Orleans Sports Quarterback Club Foundation meeting welcome to J.T. Curtis. I'll get it out eventually.
Scott, I had 6 my first name. 6. Thank goodness I got guys like Billy Duncan in, and they helped turn it around. It is a pleasure to be back here to visit with you, especially on this week. It's obviously an exciting week for us. We're really excited about the opportunity to open up the field of play at Zephyr Stadium. I know Mr. Rojas is going to visit with you here in just a minute, but their cooperation and their concept and their vision for prep football at Zephyr is really unbelievable. I think they want to make this a first-class experience for all concerned, not just the players, the fans, and those that are going to come out to support with the tailgating, the opportunity to park very comfortably and to get into a nice facility to be able to play is going to be a real experience for our kids. And I wanted to make sure that we knew that that was not a slight to anybody else. We happen to be in a community that doesn't have a lot of stadiums. And playing on Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock or Saturday night and fighting LSU and Tulane and Thursday nights and so forth got to be difficult. And this is going to give us another venue, not only for the regular season, but also for the playoffs. And so we're really looking forward to it and encourage you to come out and to be a part of it. Our game against Brother Martin, it was really appropriate for Ken to have their video up when I walked in as I tried to eat my meal. I left half of it here on the plate. Having to watch that was enough. Obviously, those of you all that are from this community know about Brother Martin, know about the play of the fine running back, the swilling boy, and the Singleton receiver, but they have a returned veteran defense that plays well in the front. They're kind of rebuilding their offensive line, but the skill of their running back and the play of their quarterback and the threat of the wide receiver really makes them an explosive team. I think it was 42 or 44 they scored last week in a loss to Endicott, but 46 was it? But Endicott, if you've had the opportunity to watch them, are playing with probably one of the best quarterbacks in the state. And I say one of the best because I've had the opportunity to play against both he and the young man from O'Prey Walker, and whoever gets either one of them has an excellent quarterback to compete at the collegiate level. I'd hate to have to pick one over the other. They're both outstanding. Our team is a little banged up, to be honest with you. We're a little banged up at running back. We hopefully going to get Darian Washington back this week. He was not able to play last week in the game against Parkview Baptist, but hopefully he is going to be able to get back for us and give us a chance to have a little more depth there. Malik Wells will not be back. He had to have a surgery on his hand, and the doctor said at least another week and a half to 2 weeks before we'll get a chance to get him back. But that's just part of the challenge of high school football. You know, we try to say as coaches that injuries we can't control, and what it does is give another young man an opportunity to step up and have a chance to perform and play. And that's what the expectation will be Friday night, that whoever is in that spot, we expect them to step up and to rise to the challenge and to play competitively. That's what we coach them for. We coach them hard every week, and we want to have them ready to play, and our anticipation is they'll do that. But it will be an awfully good football team, football game in our conference, and as you know, the conference is traditionally strong and will be again that way this year. I think it's extremely balanced. And we have teams that could win on any Friday night, and if you go in not prepared, then you can find yourself with a loss just as easy. So it's going to be an exciting season for prep football. I think, again, our conference will provide some real excitement for you all as fans, and look forward to being able to play at Zephyr and have a complete new experience for our team. I'll be glad to take any questions. If anybody has any questions, yes, ma'am.
Ray, wait for the microphone.
I don't really need a microphone. I don't have questions, Coach, but I have comments. I've been in New Orleans for 40+ years now, and you have always had the best programs that I've ever seen in the country. You've always run a great program, and my hats are off to you and your staff for what you do for the young men that you have taken to your homes. And you may be breaking a global rule, but the alternative is that if these young men, whether they're black, white, or purple, are not given some direction in life, they're going to end up on the streets with gun in their hands to rob and kill somebody. So for what you do, my hats are off to you, and I applaud you. And I want to say that I want your program to succeed, and I am behind you 110%.
I appreciate it. I thought the purpose of what we did was to help young people, and certainly we have to operate within the rules of our organization. I think in this particular case they misinterpreted the rule. I think it was taken completely out of context, but we're going to continue to move forward, and we're going to do what we think is in the best interest of the young people that are in our community. And there have been numerous young men who have been helped by coaches and wives and families to get those young men through school and to help them in their time of need. And one of our constitutional positions is that we should never sacrifice the boy or the girl for the game. That the game should always be second to the best interest of the boy and girl. So I appreciate that comment. Thank you. Anybody else? Any other comments?
Hey, Coach. This game is going to be on ESPN, and with it being a national televised game, I know this isn't your first, but do you prepare your team differently for national televised games, and do you feel like you get an advantage by having prior experience?
Well, yes and no. Obviously, ESPNU is a big venue, but as Kenny mentioned, their station has done a number of prep games. We have the local state game that we just did last week on television, and the biggest difference is the delay in the games. The game itself really doesn't change, but there are 3 commercials within each quarter that you have to get used to that can kind of break up your momentum a little bit, that your kids have to get used to. But playing on ESPN is certainly a big deal. We visited with them today for about an hour and a half of television, interview time to get them prepared for the game. And it is a big event. And what I hope it does is that it showcases our community. One of the questions they got was, how do I compare Louisiana high school football to the rest of the country? And I hope that we're going to be able to show them not only a highly competitive football that is played well, but a great facility that we're playing in, and a cooperation between the state and high schools in order to put on the kind of show that we want to put on for our young people, and to let the rest of the country know Louisiana high school football is as good as there is. And I think that's borne out by the number of players that we have in our National Football League that are playing, but and the number of players that go on to the collegiate level to play. But one of the things we never want to lose is that this is a high school game. And one of the things that I emphasized to the ESPN broadcasters as we talked today was that this is about high school kids and about an opportunity for them to have a unique experience. And so we feel blessed to be able to be on the show, and hopefully we're going to be representative of that honor.
Coach, your broadcast schedule keeps you extra busy on a Friday night. Perhaps you could tell us how that goes sometime. Also, you missed a couple of Fridays because of your schedule. Is that fill-in coach very good?
What was the last part?
Is that fill-in coach any good?
Well, you know, he's learning. He's learning. And here's the real problem. He doesn't have a good mentor. If I could have been there to show him the ropes, it would have been a lot better. But I think for a guy that had to come in cold without much leadership on the other side of the desk, he did a really good job. He really did. Yeah, except for Kenny. We did mention, by the way, I mentioned the show to him because obviously it's an ABC affiliate, ESPN. They're all owned by the Disney Corporation. And the guy said to me, he said, "You all do a show right after the games on Friday night?" I said, "Live for 1 hour." And he said, I don't know how you do it. I really don't. And we had a nice conversation about that. And he was really impressed with our ability to get that on the air in that short a period of time. And I had to give Ed some credit. I told him he does a great job of organizing during the week and getting us on the air and doing exactly what we said about our young people. I think one of the things Friday Night Football does that people miss is that it gives young people an opportunity to feel good about themselves. I'm sure Ed experiences this. I'm sure that others that do prep sports do it. I'll be on the street and a guy will walk up to me and says, "You remember me, coach? I was number 35 and I scored that touchdown." And I go, "Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you were good." You know, like that was the only play being run that year. You know? And what I began to realize is that it was very special to him. It made him special. And if we can make young people feel good about themselves and what they're doing, I think we've got a much better chance to be successful. Anybody else? Anything else? Good, thank you. Go ahead.
Coach, I was going to say, how's Johnny enjoying Indiana, and how's the connection from Louisiana to Ball State?
You know, he's doing well. I talked with him on the way here. I gave him a call. I had a few minutes to talk, and he's doing well. Most of you all know Mike New. I know the Saints organization. Remember Mike really well. They have played very competitively. Won last week, so their 2 wins and 1 loss was to the University of Indiana. They're going down to play Florida Atlantic this week. So they have a competitive schedule, but he's enjoying it. And like I told him, I said, "Son, you want to try this? If it's something you want to do the rest of your life, you need to do this. I'm not telling you I'm excited about it, but I am telling you that I think it's something you need to do. And if you don't like it, I got a mop and a bucket for you when you come back." And so he knows he has a job. It just might not be at the same level. Hey, thank you all very much. Enjoy being here.